At its very core, Street Fighter 6 doesn't change much about the minute-to-minute action of Street Fighter game. It's still a 2D fighter with a big cast, 18 characters at launch, including mainstays like Ryu, Dalsin, and Chun-Li. We are joined by some great newcomers like the colorful hacker Kimberly, the drunken Jamie, and the towering Marisa. As always, each has their own pros and cons. Kimberly is fast but weak, while Marisa is strong, has range but moves slowly. Their special moves to master, power gauges to understand, and the fact that yes, you eventually have to master blocking if you want to get anywhere. In that way, Street Fighter 6 feels like a refined version of its predecessors, but one that is much more approachable thanks to a new modern control scheme. Essentially, it streamlines the number of inputs required to, say, toss a fireball as Ryu. Is probably the closest a fighting game could have come to an easy mode. It works really well. The nice thing is that it doesn't replace the classic control scheme at all. You can play with the traditional setup, and using the more fine-grained controls means you have great control over your character's movements. Modern, though, is both the participant's dream and the gateway to what's so fun about Street Fighter. All of that is to say, the fundamentals of Street Fighter 6 are sound, but the most interesting thing about this game isn't how it plays. It's how it is structured. Street Fighter 6 is divided into 3 modes. Fighting Ground is basically a traditional Street Fighter game. You can play matches with friends, go through ranked online battles, experience an arcade mode as each of the characters, learning more about them through a comic-style scenes. This one mode is what you'd expect from a regular fighting game. If this were all Street Fighter 6 was, it would be a terrible game. On top of that is the Battle Hub. It looks like a futuristic arcade, filled with back-to-back cabinets, and you can start a match when you see another player sitting down, waiting. There are planned tournaments, and there are special events that could turn this into a lively place. An important thing, given the set state of modern arcades, but we'll have to wait and see how that plays out at once a wide audience jumped into the game. What really hooked me though is the new World Tour mode. It's a fully fledged single-player story campaign where you build your own fighter and go on a quest to discover what strength is for some Sachinunza. You start out in Metro City under the guidance of the lovable Luke. The idea is that you start out as a wannabe Street Fighter and work your way up the ranks. The mode really does feel like the Yakuza series. Metro City is a large location but not quite an open world, and you can run around taking on missions from various people, getting into lots of fist fights. The Street Fighter universe is a bit more like Pokemon, where every single person seems obsessed with the idea of battling. In fact, you can walk up to anyone, from a break dancer to a cop to the guy that sells bagels and coffee on the street, and challenge them to a fight. There are also thugs running around who, for some reason, wear boxes and TVs on their heads and will immediately attack you. It's basically an RPG, but with bare knuckle brawling. Your character will gain skills and experience as you battle, and you can buy new gear along the way. The thing that surprised me the most, and this is the reason I keep bringing up the Yakuza weight, is the way World Tour tries the line between sincerity and goofiness. On the other hand, it's incredibly silly. An early mission is you flying to Italy to get a single item so that you can make a counterfeit bag. And at various points you'll fight angry accountants and all that. On a quest to learn from the masters and compete in tournaments, you can also take on jobs, making pizzas, and obviously helping to destroy scrap vehicles. But there's also a real heart to the story, which is, for all its silliness, it's really about finding yourself and experiencing different ways of life. As you progress through the story, you open up new locations where you can meet up with the main cast of Street Fighter 6, most of whom will take you under their wing as a student. These scenes are often hilarious. They can show a whole new side of characters that have been around forever. So you can see Blanca as a tourist attraction or help teach Ryu how to text. It's also a sneaky way of slowly teaching you each of the different fighters. Once you become a student, your avatar can utilize that fighter style, and you will steadily unlock more of their special moves as you progress. This lets you play around and find out what fighting style works best for you, and you can also mix and match moves from different teachers to customize your own character. Similarly, most of the missions in the game center around the learning specific technique like blocking, parrying, or figuring out how to actually use your drive gauge. I've played Street Fighter 6 for decades, but I still find myself learning some intricacies of combat that I either didn't know or had previously known for one reason or another. But spreading these lessons as a brief mission in a story mode made me much more likely to pay attention to them. It's certainly a lot more fun than sparring against airports in a training mode. There are two problems that have long plagued fighting games: how to tell a story and how to onboard new players. It's not a style of gameplay that lends itself naturally to narratives, and it's tough to be approachable without sacrificing the depth that existing fans are looking for. Street Fighter 6 manages to solve both of these with ease. It's a single player mode in one part tutorial, one part wacky story that's absolutely distinct personality. Seriously, this is a game that made me care about guide, which I did not think possible. The best part is that the mode is entirely addictive. If you still want a traditional Street Fighter experience, it's right there in Fighting Ground. All of that new stuff is built in on a solid foundation of a classic fight. So, it's something completely new. It gives long-time fans a new way to experience these characters, and newcomers an introduction to the franchise, and really the genre as a whole. But there's still one thing if Street Fighter cannot solve: this cramping in my hands. Thank you for your precious time, and thank you for watching. Please don't forget to support Playifire by buying our artwork on our Etsy shop. The link to that is in the description below. Cheers, and see you on the next one.